Processing what has happened, but they are in many cases not happy. They're demanding answers.
What you're seeing is being described as excessive use of force captured on video. Baltimore police say Deshaun McGreer was known by this officer who asked McGreer for his ID. Look closely. McGreer shouts something, then slaps away the officer's hand, and that's when the officer begins repeatedly punching McGreer in the head and body. McGreer is pushed to the ground. The officer appears to pounce on top of him.
It was something significant.
We have out-of-control associations and unions that close ranks and protect officers. They're really doing more than a disservice to this community, but gunning down members of our community.
Enough is enough. And if you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the pot on our police officers. We've had enough, folks.
Police officers are commonly expected to exceed the limits of human performance. It is well known that an armed suspect facing away from an officer can fire at the officer by twisting his body around, reaching across his body and firing over his shoulder or under his arm, or simply by swinging his arm backward and firing the weapon upside down.
Oakland's police commission says that 5 officers who were involved in a deadly shooting should be fired. The officers' union is crying foul.
We're pleased that the criminal charges against Officer Miller, Porter, Sergeant White have been dismissed. Justice has been done. Our union will continue to support our officers during their administrative hearings and believe these good officers will be returned to fulfilling their duties with the Baltimore City Police Department and serving the citizens of Baltimore City.
He was fired twice, both times for incidents involving, well, feces.
Today, San Antonio police officer Matthew Luckhurst appeared before an arbitrator asking for his job back.
This San Antonio police officer, who was fired in 2016 amid allegations he tried to give a homeless man a sandwich filled with dog feces, has won his appeal.
The president of a police union has called the white policeman involved in the death of an unarmed black man in New York City a model officer.
I was a witness to a homicide. On the 22nd of September 2008, the very SWAT team that I founded in the 1970s killed my son-in-law in my presence. I went over it and over it in my head because it didn't make sense the way it went down.
There were officers everywhere. I kept telling them, let me talk to Brian. I know I can calm this situation down.
The police are creating these circumstances. They're creating the volatility. They're creating the violence. They're creating the very thin margin for error.
The premise that the cops are becoming more like the military, it is false.
It's me as a sheriff preparing a deputy with all the tools that I can give him to go into a situation where there's a high probability somebody will get shot.
Police officers are receiving military weapons and equipment. When you dress them up and you give them that mindset, it's not a surprise that they start acting in a militaristic way.
When the police make a mistake and shoot someone who isn't really a threat, they're always forgiven because it's the volatility of the situation. People on the receiving end of these raids aren't given that consideration.